Hi, Maya Black here with Arden Katniss and our July update. So over the last month or two, I've started to get Katniss off the property. Here she is at Lochmoy, and we trotted a few jumps earlier on in the lesson or in the session, and then by the time we got back to the wooded section here, the ground was a little bit better. It's been really hard and dry in Virginia. And so I was able to string a few canter fences together. So after this little schooling, I felt like that she was gonna be prepared to go to her first ever competition. And so here she is at the Virginia Horse Center last week in the 4-year-old class. So overall, I was really pleased with her. She's a really good worker and loves to show off. So she's just here doing her first dressage test, and she went in the ring and just was really well behaved and all business, which I think she gets from her mom Maggie, who's 20 I believe this year, and I still get to ride a little bit here and there at the farm, and Anita also fox hunts her. So I think Katniss has a wonderful brain on her and really does like to perform, and it seemed to really enjoy going to the show. This was, like I said, her first event and or 4-year-old class for that matter, and also it wasn't a away show, so she had to go and spend a few nights in the stall, and I had another intermediate horse there, so at least she had a buddy. But that's a lot to take in for a young horse, and she really couldn't have been better. So she's gonna be a really fun one to produce and bring along, and she's really just trying to do all the right things here. She has lovely gait. She's still, as a young horse, she still has a lot of growing left to do. So it's just been a process getting her stronger and not pushing her and not trying to put her in too small of a package yet. So you'll see that I allow her to be a little more out the front, and also I ride her in a jump saddle so I can stay off of her back just that little bit more. But I think over the course of the next few years, she'll develop and get a lot stronger, and then be able to hold her big gaits together. I was hopeful that she would be ready to pull out the little bit bigger scores, but unfortunately it wasn't quite her time. So even though I was super pleased with her, we'll come back and keep working on some things, and maybe next month they will think that she is ready for a little bit bigger score. But that doesn't take away, and it's all a process with these young horses. And again, I was thrilled with her and thought she was as good as she could have been. So we'll just keep chugging along and come to the next one. Here's Sophie helping me, and Jen get all ready. And we actually had a thunderstorm. We had to run back to the barn right before this, so it was a long day for the young horses. They had to do dressage in the morning, and then we got on in the afternoon. It was quite hot, in the 90s, and it's about 15-minute hack up to where this young horse jumping is. And then we got up there, warmed up, and then we're told to go back to the barns because of the thunderstorm coming in. So we went back to the barns, and then about an hour later, so this was probably about 5-something at night now by the time we did this jumping class. So again, overall, I was really happy with her. We have about 5 or 6 show jumps, got a little long to that vertical that you just saw, and she had a few little opinions about that. But overall, she was trying really hard and was extremely brave and just flowed along, and I felt like she jumped really well. And again, cantered right through the water, little leap in, I prefer them not to do too big of leaps into the water and be pretty confident about it, but she's just a little expressive there. And yeah, so for her first competition and her first cross country course, I was really excited about how willing she was right over the little ditch. I felt like she galloped well. It's quite a bit of terrain at the Virginia Horse Center. So for a young horse, figuring out their balance up and down these hills is something that is not to be taken lightly, because there are more hills than you quite realize. So overall, again, I was thrilled with her. She is going to be a really fun. She's a little cross country machine. She seems to really enjoy it. She has a nice gallop on her. She jumps well, and she's careful, but at the same time, pretty brave. So I think that she's going to turn out to be a lovely horse someday. A little bit same as the dressage. She's still working on her balance and cantering up and down these hills, and that might have taken a little bit out of her score, but unfortunately she didn't get the scores that I was hoping. But it's all relative, and I was really, really happy with her. So we'll just see about going to another young event horse qualifier, hopefully in the next month or two. And this experience, though, for her was a very positive one. She didn't know that she didn't get a qualifying score. So overall, I was thrilled with her, and I'm just gonna keep coming along, and we'll go to the next one. So overall, a good experience for her, and I had a lot of fun out there. So that's what it's supposed to be all about, right? Here's the last, and then I'll put a little leg on, and she took off up the hill. So I think she's gonna have a great gallop someday. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll show you next time what we've been up to.